Hello and welcome to the first section in which we will be introducing the PyQt5 framework. First, we will install the correct version of PyQt5 that matches both our version of Python and the operating system we are running. We will then create a fully functional graphical user interface program in only a few lines of code. Then we will add widgets to our GUI in order to add functionality to our program. This will lead us to the question and techniques on how to lay out our widgets within our GUI. In this first video, we will install the PyQt5 framework for Python 3. But before we do that, we will first make sure that we have the latest version of Python 3 installed. We will find the right version of PyQt5 that matches our architecture, and then we will verify that our installation did succeed. PyQt5 is the latest Python binding to the Qt5 framework. Qt is written in C++ and the PyQt binding enables us to use this framework from Python. Qt is a large framework with many modules. We will focus on using the graphical user interface modules. Graphical user interfaces are event-driven. GUIs are running in an endless loop, waiting for events to be sent to them. Our GUI code then handles the events. Entering text or clicking a button are some examples of user interactions that create events. We will be using the latest version of Python 3, so let's make sure that you have that version installed. We can download and install Python 3.6 from the official Python website. Clicking on the Download Python 3.6.2 button downloads the installer. That will install the 32-bit version of Python. I personally use the 64-bit version that matches my 64-bit Windows 10 operating system. In order to install the 64-bit version, we scroll down on the web page and then click the Python 3.6.2 versions. The Windows x86-64 installer will install the 64-bit version of Python 3. The AMD 64 is the 64-bit installer. The other is the 32-bit installer. When we start the installation of Python, we can add Python 3.6 to the Windows path. That's always a good thing to do. And we can also customize our installation. For example, we can change the folder where Python will get installed. So instead of app data local programs, I personally like to place it somewhere else, some place where I can easier find it. So I simply put it onto the C drive. So that makes it C Python 3.6, and we just install it. We are installing the 64-bit version of Python 3.6.2. The installation is pretty fast. It doesn't take long, maybe a couple of minutes. At the end of the installation, setup was successful. So we have successfully installed Python. Now we want to install PyQt5. PyQt5 is the latest version of PyQt and it works very well with Python 3. The easiest way to install Python packages is using pip install. From the location where we have installed Python, we can open a PowerShell and simply type pip install PyQt5. The PyQt5 package gets installed in the Python side packages folder. We can verify that PyQt5 works by opening a command prompt, running the Python interpreter, and then importing some of the PyQt5 modules. If we do not get any errors, we are good to go. In this video, we installed the PyQt5 framework and made sure that it worked with Python 3. In the next video, we will be building our first GUI written in Python with PyQt5.